Papa, the babysitter. She is acting strange. Is scaring me.
I'm sure it's all in her head, son. Just go back to bed.
Okay, Papa. What? Papa.
Hello all you horror fans, and welcome back to Terrible Reviews. I'm your host David, and this week we finally did it. We finally got a very, very bad movie. This week we are reviewing Baba Yaga, that is how they pronounce it in the movie, Terror of the Dark Forest. This is a Russian film, and I will state this first. I tried watching this in two different ways. First, with the English dub, and second, the Russian dub with English subtitles. And I ran into the same issue with both dubs. The English translation is just straight up the Google Translate translation, to the point where the verbiage is all jumbled up, because if you translate a language like Russian directly to English, the words are going to sound out of order or sound weird. And that was all of the dialogue in this movie. I will credit the child actors. They did decently. Their performances weren't terrible. But everything else about this movie was just so bad. So, without further ado, let's get into the scores. So, terror. Is this movie scary? No. Every single scare in this movie is a jump scare. I already told you with the Haunting in Connecticut video how I feel about jump scares. This movie gets a 1 for terror. Gore. And the visual effects. I would score this higher if, when they show the practical prosthetics that they used, they weren't on screen in the dark for maybe 1 to 2 seconds. Because for the 1 or 2 seconds that you see them, they don't look terrible. But the CG in this movie came out in 2020. The CG in this movie, god awful. A 1 for gore as well. So, can the story save it? No. And this isn't even just about the translation. The story makes no sense whatsoever. The actions of the characters make no sense whatsoever. This movie makes no sense whatsoever with what should have been just a straightforward, scary movie about a witch that eats babies. It makes no sense. I didn't understand what was happening, why people were doing things, why things were happening the way they were. None of it gets explained. None of it is even, understandable. So 1 for story as well. Now, lastly, I bet you can guess this one. Did I have fun watching this movie? I feel like I have been tortured for an hour and a half after watching this movie. If I could give it a 0, I would. But, since I can't, it also gets a 1 for fun. So, that was my review for Baba Yaga, Terror of the Dark Forest. Was it terrifying or terrible? It is absolutely terrible. Do not watch this movie unless you want to torture yourself. But if you do, good luck with that. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below. Don't forget to follow, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Stay spooky.